152 Show, episode 3. We're going to talk about the climate of New York wrestling. So, a lot of people always say, yo, Unc, stop talking about the past. Yo, hang up the shoes, this, and that. Everybody thinks their generation was the best generation. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I was wrestling now, I would have pinned everybody. Oh, if I was wrestling now, I would have teched everybody. Yo, the guys back in my day, they would pack everybody up now. So we're going to go to the statistics, right? I don't want to talk from an eye test. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the guys back then look better, or to me, they look better. Now, we're going to take a statistical analysis into how New York wrestling is now. Has it changed? Everything like that. So I feel like one of the best ways to determine how good we are right now is through national rankings. So I had the national rankings pulled up here, right? 2026. Now, this is via Flow Wrestling. I always felt like Flow Wrestling had the best rankings. I feel like other people who do rankings like Intermat, like they're a little bit soft with it. They be putting people on there who shouldn't be on there. I feel like Flow was like they have the tightest rankings. So New York, right? So if we go down the line, hold on 1 second. I just had it right here. All right, so we're going to go down the weights, right? New York, 106, nothing. Okay. 113, nothing. And this is March 4th. So this is the latest national rankings via Flow Wrestling, right? So 106, nothing. 113, nothing. 120. All right. So we get our first people here. We have Cooper Murley ranked 10th. Now, he's a New York guy. He's from Section 9. This year, though, I believe he's wrestling. He did like an extra senior year, like a 5th year. So he is a New York wrestler, but he didn't compete in the New York State Championships. So now we have number 11, Dunias Iwamana, who was a state champion this year. And then we have number 12 at 120, Anthony Lagala, who unfortunately got hurt this year. Now, they were going to be different weights, right? I believe Lagala bumped up. He was going to be 126, but like I said, he got hurt, unfortunately. So these aren't extremely updated, but this is the last national ranking that we have. So 3 right there from New York in one weight, right? Now let's keep going. So 126, nothing. All right. Let's keep going. 126, nothing. 132, we got Christopher Noto, number 20. So just made the list. That's the last ranking. He's from Section 5, I believe. Upstate, D2 guy. Shout out to D2. You guys say I don't show love to D2? Shout out to D2. Christopher Noto, ranked 20th. Okay. 138 now. Nothing, right? Let's see what we got here. 144, we got Gavin Mangano, Section 11, Big Long Island, ranked number 13. And he's a junior, so he'll be back next year. So, all right, let's keep it moving. 150, nothing. There's a lot of nothings here. I'm not going to lie. I don't like that. There's a lot of nothings, right? Most weights, we don't have somebody. 157, hold on, that didn't, come on, 157. Can we go? All right. 157. Cameron Howard, state champion, right? 157. Only a sophomore. This kid's got a bright future. I talked a lot about him in my last video. 157, Cameron Howard. And then we have also at 157, Griffin LaPlante, who actually bumped up to 165. I suspect he didn't want to wrestle Cameron Howard. It's just speculation. He's like, why should I go wrestle Cameron Howard when I could bump up and win a state championship at 165? So whatever. 2 people there, right? Let's keep it moving. 165, nothing. All right, let's keep it moving. Hello, can we update, please? Yo, 175. All right, 175. Again, nothing. A lot of nothings, my people. A lot of nothings. 190. Nothing. Another one. Shaking my head. 215. Nothing. Again. And let's go to heavyweight. 285. Nothing. So let's see. Altogether, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 nationally ranked wrestlers, 2026 from New York. And like I said, Cooper Murley did not even compete in the state tournament this year. So how do I feel about that? only 7 nationally ranked wrestlers, and there's 20 ranked wrestlers per weight, right? I think that's that's weak. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think that's weak. And you guys know I am the #1 New York wrestling advocate. I'm big New York all day. You guys know this, right? And I'm only pointing this out to bring some light to the situation. You know what I mean? So that we could, I'm trying to put the battery in you guys back so that we can elevate, right? New York, we border 2 of the best wrestling states in the country, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And we have a bigger population than New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So in theory, we should be at least on par with them or even better, right? We border them. We can go there. We can wrestle with them, but we're not keeping up with them. Pennsylvania, I mean, everybody knows Pennsylvania is by far, it's not even close. That is the best wrestling state. New Jersey, another state, crazy. When I was coming up in the game, you know, when I was in middle school, they always used to tell me, yo, Lou, off season, go to New Jersey, go to Pennsylvania. So every weekend, my dad was always driving me. We were going over the bridge every Sunday. We were going to, you know, all these tournaments in New Jersey. What school is Anthony Arsenal? South Plainfield tournament I used to go to. Let's do a comparison, right? Now let's go to, I was trying to find 2014 because that was the year that I graduated and we were crazy in 2014. Now, I couldn't find it. Basically, like all of the old national rankings, the pages are gone. They're like archived. Like I guess Flow Wrestling removed them. So I did a little bit of digging. Let me tell you guys how much I love doing this. I found a website. It's called like way back something. So basically, it's called Wayback Machine. This is how I got these national rankings. I was able to go back to 2015. That was the furthest back that I could find. Like I said, I wanted 2014 because that was my senior year and we were monsters that year, but I found the year after, 2015. And there's this website called Wayback Machine where if you can find a broken link, you can put that broken link into this Wayback Machine and you can recover it somehow. I don't know. I'm not a super tech guy, but the point is I found the 2015 national rankings and we're going to go down the list. Now, it's a little bit slow when I click the thing, so bear with me. But all right, we're going to start at 106, right? We got 3 at 106. Ja'Cory Teamer, ranked number 6. We got Jake Silverstein, ranked number 16. And Tommy Cox, ranked number 19. Now, all 3 of those guys were from Long Island, and they were all in the same weight class or around the same weight class. They were always scrapping. Now, another disclaimer, these aren't completely accurate. I feel like some of the wrestlers wrestled at different weights or whatever, but this is just so you guys can get an idea. So 3 nationally ranked wrestlers at 106. And there was a couple other guys who were really good. Kellen McKenna from New Hartford. My guy Sparacio also from North Babylon were a lot of times in the national rankings as well. This page that I recovered, they're not on here, but I know like those 5 guys were always scrapping with each other. So that's 3. Now let's go to 113. So we got nothing at 113 in New York in 2015. But go to 120. At 120, we got Yanni Diakomahalis. We all know Yanni, 4-time national champion, 4-time New York State champion. He was ranked 6th. And then right below him, we got another all-time great from New York, Vito Aruja, ranked 7th at 120. I believe Vito went 132 this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they weren't the same weight. They only wrestled at one time in 8th grade, right? Yeah, in 8th grade at 99. And then I feel like after that, they were always different weights. Yanni won that match in overtime. So that's 120. Now let's go to 126. At 126, we had a #1 ranked wrestler in the country, Nick Piccinini, another New York great, another New York legend, Section 11. That's my guy. Shout out Pitch. I was on a lot of travel teams with him growing up. So he was ranked #1 in the country. And then also ranked at 126, we got my guy, Mike D'Angelo, another monster from Section 11, Big Long Island. Trained with him a bunch at Ascend Wrestling Club. We were both members of Ascend Wrestling Club. And I definitely rolled around with my guy, D'Angelo, a bunch. He was a beast. What was he ranked? D'Angelo was 14 in the same weight. Now, 132. Let's see what we got here. 132. So 132, they got Vito again for some reason. Like I said, I don't know. It's an archive page, but yeah, they got Vito again at number 10, 132. So whatever. I already mentioned him. We all know Vito. Now let's go to 138. 138. We got 2 people here. We got Louis Dupre from Hilton, monster All-American. In college, he's ranked number 16 here. And then we got a D2 guy, Tristan Riffenberg from Norwich, ranked number 18. Now, I believe in 2015, Louis Dupre actually went 160. That was a monster bracket. But yeah, they got him here at 138, whatever. Two nationally ranked guys, Louis Dupre, Tristan Riffenberg. Now let's go to 145. Let's see. 145, we got my guy, Tommy Dutton. Tommy Dutton wrestled at Rocky Point, also Hop Hog, Monster. I believe he held the record for most wins on Long Island for a while. Stud, you know, the Dutton family. His brother was a monster too, both of them. So he was ranked number 10 at 145. Moving along. We got 152, 152. You guys know 152, that's what I rep. That's my weight. I love this weight. So 152, we got two people. My guy, well, they actually have Dutton here again for some reason, number 11 at 152. But all right, so we got Jacob Restrepo. That's my guy. Shout out Prime Wrestling Club. I did a lot of training with Restrepo. I'm still in contact with him, one of my good friends. He was a beast, really good at freestyle and Greco. He was always going to Fargo. They got him ranked number 13 here. And then we also got a D2 guy, Frank Garcia, somebody that I wrestled at the Eastern States my junior year in the semifinals. Frank Garcia was a beast, two-time state champion in Division II. They got him ranked number 15 here. So as you guys can see already, like it's not in the 2026 rankings, it was a lot of nothing, right? We were skipping a whole bunch of weight classes without having somebody. For the most part here, we're having at least one per weight class, two sometimes. So listen, these are stats. They don't lie. They do not lie. This is not my opinion. These are statistical facts here, right? So 160, nobody at 160. But like I said, Louis Dupre actually, I believe, wrestled at 160 that year in 2015. Now let's go to 170 here. 170, we have somebody by the name of Ryan Marsal from Unitago. I'm not too familiar with him. I know that's I believe that's a D2 school in Section 4, Unitago. Not familiar with him, but ranked number 14 in the country. So that means he had to have been good, right? That's a fact. So yeah, 170. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to 182 now. See, the weight classes were a little bit different at this time. Let's see, 182. So 182, we have somebody kind of a similar situation as Cooper Murley. So we have a kid by the name of Christian Dietrich, right? He was from, I believe it was Green High School in Section 4, D2 school. He was a state champion in New York, and then he transferred to Wyoming Seminary. So they have him here at representing Pennsylvania, but I just wanted to throw that out there that he's originally a New York guy and he did win a New York State title, Section 4, Division 2. So, but other than that, nobody else from New York. Now let's go to 195. Let's see what we got here. 195. 195. Nothing. 220 right here. Okay, 220. We got ranked number 11. Yusuf Hamida, Section 1. Monster. I believe he was an All-American at Maryland. I know he represents, I believe, Egypt in international wrestling. He was a beast, a state champion. Look at this. He's actually above Gable Stevenson when Gable Stevenson was a freshman. Look at that. I know he wrestled, I think, Vin Fiola in the state finals. That was another guy who was always borderline, nationally ranked, would go to tournaments like Super 32 in place. But they only got Yusuf Hamida here. And let's go to heavyweight. Nothing at heavyweight. So if you tally that all up, 2015, we have 14 nationally ranked wrestlers compared to 2026, 7. So double. We had double the amount of nationally ranked wrestlers in 2015 compared to 2026. So what does that mean? I mean, I would say that's a clear-cut sign that high school wrestling in New York was at a higher level in 2015 than now. The question is, were the wrestlers actually better back then, or was the country worse, right? Some people might say that. They want to throw that argument out, like, oh, the rest of the country just caught up. To me, that doesn't matter, right? Because if you're New York, right, and you're here in 2014, 2015, and the rest of the country is here, right? And now they start improving, New York is supposed to keep improving as well, right? That's what Pennsylvania, that's what New Jersey, that's what Ohio does, California does, right? They're always up here and they stay up here. As other states get better, like states like Wisconsin, who's grown tremendously over the years, right? You know, back then you weren't thinking about Wisconsin, but now with Ben Askren going over there, like it's like a whole new scene. Like Wisconsin is dangerous. That's a good wrestling state, respected wrestling state now. So New York is supposed to continue to improve with the rest of the states, but I don't feel like that's the case, right? And like I said, it's just the facts is here. This is not my opinion. These are facts. We had double the amount of nationally ranked wrestlers in 2014 compared to 2026, right? So I do want to point out though that they came out with a list of these are the NCAA championship qualifiers, Division One, obviously, by state, right? They just came out with this list. NCAAs is this weekend, and New York, good, right? Number 6. So the list is Pennsylvania, number 1. I mean, we could have expected that. We could have guessed that, right? 50 qualifiers for Pennsylvania. That's crazy. 50. Second place, Ohio. Well, actually, there's a tie for second place. It's Ohio and New Jersey. They both have 28. So Pennsylvania almost leads them by double, right? If it was 25, it would have been double, but whatever. 50, second place, Ohio and New Jersey tie, 28. Now we have fourth place, California, 23. Fifth place, Illinois with 18, and New York, sixth place with 16. So I'm not on here to down the current state of New York wrestling. We're still, as you can see, we're still doing good, right? We're translating to the college level, right? We're still 6th out of 50 states. So that's amazing, right? But I would like to see our general trajectory to be up on all realms, right? Not just college wrestling, right? Like I said, we have less nationally ranked wrestlers now compared to 2015. We had 14 in 2015. I would like us to have 30 now. You know what I'm saying? I would like us to have 40 now. I want us to have, 2, 3 nationally ranked guys per weight. For honestly, now, like the nationally ranked guys in 2026, like they're unchallenged, right? If you have a nationally ranked guy in New York in a specific weight class, they're pretty much unchallenged, right? Like they're like a shoo-in. And other states, the best wrestling states, that's not the case, right? Pennsylvania, those nationally ranked guys, they got to work. They got to work. Starting at the quarterfinals, they're already working, right? The nationally ranked guys in New York, they're getting, they're breezing through the tournament and maybe getting a challenge in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at what Cameron Howard did. I mean, he teched everybody. Now, he's a special talent, right? He was ranked, he's ranked number 2 in the country, but even something comes to mind, like, for example, my senior year, right? I was ranked 6, 5, 4. I was in that range, and I had to work in the semifinals, right? I had a 7-5 match in the semifinals. I had to work, right? Another example, Nick Piccinini, he was ranked number 1 in the country. He was always top 3, and he had to work in his state final. He wrestled Ben Lamantia, right, from Catholic schools, and that was a 1-point match. So our nationally ranked guys back then, they were working, right? It wasn't like a shoo-in like now. Another thing too, I believe back then compared to now is the depth. So back in 2014, 2015, it was only up to 6th place, right? This is new, the 7th and 8th place, right? But the number 5 and the number 6 guys, they were tough. They would go to national tournaments and still be a problem, right? The gap between the number 1 guy and the number 4 guy, the number 5 guy wasn't so large in my opinion, right? I feel like now the gap between the number 1 guy and the number 5, number 6, even the 7, 8, the gap is huge. I feel like, those guys are getting teched, right? The number 1 guy is teching and destroying the number 5, 6 guys. 2014, 2015, I feel like the gap was not as big. Let's pull up so I'm just going to name some of the 3rd place guys, right? And this is from 2014, not 2015. Kellen McKenna, stud. Vinny Vespa, stud. Joe Calderon, stud. Ben Lamantia, like I mentioned, absolute stud. D'Angelo, who we saw was nationally ranked the next year, stud. Brad Wade, another monster, right? Louis Dupre, monster. Joey Butler, Blaze Benderoff, monster. Dan DiCarlo, Gino Gionelli, Robert Ing, Ben Honus, who was an All-American. I believe he represents Italy. James Bethel, he did good in D3. Trevor Gibbons, right? Even the 5th place guys. All right, let's look at some of these fifth place guys. Tommy Dutton at 145 taking 5th place. I mean, come on, a guy like Tommy Dutton, This is guys. This is a Super 32 placer this year, taking 5th in the state. You know what I'm saying? The Monty Burns from Newburgh, Joe Russ taking 6th in the state. I mean, Joe Russ was a JUCO national champion, taking 6th in the state in 2014. I mean, guys, this is crazy, right? Frankie Gissendanner. We all know Frankie Gissendanner. Dude, serious. All-time New York great. Multiple-time New York State champion. What do you win? 4 or 5? 4, I think. 4th place. And like I said, we should be better than that. Now, our trajectory should be up, going up, right? We had things like the New York versus New Jersey All-Star match, right? New York used to win a lot of those. I wrestled in 2 of them. So it's funny. The year that I lost, I wrestled BJ Clagan, All-American. For Ryder, he was a 2-time New Jersey State champion, 4-time Virginia Beach national champion. So I wrestled him. He beat me, but New York won the dual meet. Then the next year, I won my match, but New York lost the dual meet. But still, New York used to win a lot of these New York, New Jersey All-Star matches. That showed you that, we were right there with New Jersey. And New Jersey was bringing a good lineup, state champions. It wasn't just like, it wasn't like they didn't care about it. We're just going to send our number 6 guy, our number 4 guy. We're just going to send him. Nah, they used to bring their state champions. Joey McKenna wrestled in it. BJ Clagan wrestled in it. The list goes on and on. So right here, I got the New York, New Jersey, the pinning down autism, all-time results right here. 2011, New York, 31. New Jersey, 25. Packed them up, right? And like I said, this is New Jersey bringing their good guys. Richie Lewis, Luis Gonzalez, James Green wrestled Dylan Palacio that year. This is serious stuff. New York won. Do you guys think New York could compete with New Jersey right now in 2026? I don't know. You let me know what you guys think in the comments. James Fox, we all remember him. He was a stud. Nick Wisdowski wrestled in this. I mean, Steven Rodriguez from New York wrestled in this. Mark Raganundan. I mean, this was crazy. So that's 2011. Let's see here. We got 2012, New York, 27. New Jersey, 23. So another win for New York here. Look at this. I mean, and these are good guys here. Gary Dinmore, Scott Del Vecchio wrestling, lost to Nick Kelly, right? BJ Clagan wrestled, Lenny Richardson, right? Let me see. Dylan Palacio wrestling in this. Johnny Sebastian. I mean, these are big names here. Zach Zupan, he was a monster. Like Cole Lampman from Shenandoah. Crazy. So another win for New York. Let's go to 2013. This was my first year wrestling in this event. I got packed up, not gonna lie. But another win for New York. 29, New York, New Jersey, 21. Yanni versus Alec Kelly. Ryan Friedman versus Kyle Quinn. Nick Piccinini versus AJ Vincenzi. Travis Pissarro wrestled. TJ Fabian versus Anthony Geraldo. Crazy stuff. Jason Estevez versus Sam Malikian. Monsters. Richie Lewis versus Nick T. BJ Clagan over Lou 152. Took the L. Corey Rashid wrestling, Joseph Johnson. These are big names in New Jersey. And New York won. Then now we got 2014. New Jersey takes its first win. Wow, we got packed up this year. 39-22. We lost. New Jersey 39, New York 22. But let me see. Yeah, Joey McKenna wrestled in this. Joseph Johnson again. Jordan Fox was a monster. I wrestled in this. I versed Nick Velez from Tristan Riffenberg was in this. Chris Moriello, Craig Dela Cruz, Piccinini, Vito wrestled in this. This is big stuff, pinning down autism. I want this tournament back. This was crazy. This was lit. I used to love the New York versus New Jersey. We need this. This elevates the competition for New York and for New Jersey, right? Let's see. 2015, New York, again, we win. 38, Team New Jersey, 17, right? Yanni's wrestling in this. Again, Louis Dupre's wrestling in this. Yusuf Hamida, who I mentioned before. Sam Ward, right? These are Kyle Mosher, Lenny Merkin, right? This is lit. We need this. I want this tournament back. This was crazy. So stuff like this is going to help bring New York wrestling up, right? We need to travel. We need to have these all-star type of things in the off season, right? The off season is what really elevates the wrestling, right? We need to have Pop and Flow National Duels. That's another example, right? I remember I went with Team Excel with Nick Garone, and we won. Just a Long Island team, not even a New York all-star team. This was a Long Island all-star team, 2012. We won. We beat Dark Knights, which was a PA, one of the premier clubs, and we beat Apex in the finals. Just a Long Island team beating Pennsylvania, New Jersey, right? So I don't want to sound like an unk, you talking about the past. Listen, history shapes the future, right? And I'm bringing this stuff up, like I said, to just put the battery in your guys' back. I believe we have the potential. New York, we have the potential to be top 5 every single year. We have the numbers, we have the population, we have extremely quality coaches, we have the geography, right? We got so many different areas. We got Long Island, we got Westchester, we got Rochester, Buffalo, right? Everybody brings their own element. We got Section 3 Adirondack Mountains. We got it all, right? I want to see us elevate, right? I want our trajectory to be up, right? We had 14 nationally ranked wrestlers in 2015. We have 7 in 2026. I want 2027. I want us to have 30, right? I want us to go up. I want us to have 30, 40. I want us to be like PA. PA got like 4 nationally ranked guys in every single weight. I believe that New York can match that level. I really do. So my question for you guys to basically sum this all up, right? And let's have a discussion in the comment section, right? Let me know. How is New York in 2026 compared to 2014, 2015? And let's even go further, right? Were we even better before that? Maybe in 2005 or the 90s, right? How were we then? What has the trajectory been of New York wrestling throughout the years, right? What was the golden era? And what do we have to do to get back to that level, right? If it was, let's say it was 2005, right? That was our golden era. Why were we so good in 2005? And what do we have to do to get back there? If it was 2014, 2015, right? Why was it 2014, 2015? And what do we have to do to get back there? Or some of you might think 2026, right now is it, right? Let me know what you guys think. Let's have a discussion. New York wrestling. Let's bring it all the way up to the top. Let's go.